Hey, Laura Godwin coming to you with a thought that I've had on my heart, something that I've already shared with my team and with my group, and I thought I would put it out there for my YouTube viewers as well. So we just wrapped up the most incredible event at SFR, what we call Cincy Family Reunion is what other big companies would call their annual convention. We had leadership, which was the first couple of days before, and then everybody came in for SFR. It was information packed, emotion packed, and I can't even think of all the ways that our cups were filled, whatever the word is. We were absolutely gifted with some amazing content, speakers that moved us in ways that we didn't even know we needed to be moved. And then even just interactions, the trip on the elevator, maybe we met and connected with someone that helped us grow even more, or maybe we connected with them through social media. We see that they do something that's pretty awesome and we think, oh, I want to be awesome like that. I'm telling you, if you can go to one of these events and not come back better in every area of your life, then I think you must have stayed in the hotel room, because we were given so many opportunities to just completely walk away with such valuable content that's going to change us, going to change our businesses, going to ultimately change our paycheck. So I still don't have much of a voice, but here's what's on my heart. A lot of us, we rate an event based on the engagement, the community, the interactions. And then if you're like me, I rate the event on how full my notebook is. How many really cool ideas did I come away with? How am I going to be able to be better as a result of what I learned at any experience that I go to? Who did I network with that is going to be in my new circle of 5 that's going to help me get to the new future goals that I have set for myself? Who are those people? What are those takeaways? And I think we got a great amount of them this year. Maybe even some of my favorite guest speakers ever in the history of 13 years in Cincy. I left with my cup full in a very beautiful way. But this brings me to what I've been just kind of thinking on, and I want to share it with you. So you that know me well know that when I go to the grocery store, I get super overwhelmed. In fact, I hate the grocery store. I wouldn't even be upset if I had a house without a kitchen. Do not care. The happiest I ever feel around food is when I am able to order from a menu and don't have anything to do with the cooking part, and they bring it to me, and then when I am done, it disappears, all of it. Yay. That is my happy place. I like to order. I don't like to go to the grocery store, feel overwhelmed with all the decisions and choices, come home with something that I do not feel passionate about cooking or even want to eat, and then cook it for God knows how long, eat it in less than 30 seconds, and then still have to deal with the aftermath. Okay, so that's me whining, but to be honest, when I go to the grocery store, it starts that downward spiral for me, because I am so overwhelmed. In fact, if I go to a restaurant and the menu is too intense or big, or there are too many options, I struggle with that. I don't like a lot of clutter. I don't like a lot of choices. I like simple, and I'm like that, right? And so when I go to the grocery store, I can remember the very first time I ever went to the grocery store by myself. I've never told this story to anyone out loud. The very first time right after I got my driver's license, my parents sent me to the store to buy what we needed to make spaghetti, and I was so excited because it was my first solo trip to the store. And so off I went, and I come home, and then I realized that the very thing that we needed the most, I didn't bring home. I was so overwhelmed with all of the choices for spaghetti sauce and noodles and bread and I don't even remember. Like, I'm sure I bought green beans because I super love green beans, especially with spaghetti. When I come home, I didn't even know, it never even dawned on me that I had forgotten spaghetti. And we ate meatless spaghetti, which I know is the norm in some places or homes or whatever. That is not our norm. And so it was the most awful experience ever. And it taught me a lesson about myself very early on that I have yet to correct, even though I'm much older than 16 right now. So I learned something about myself, but maybe it's something that has helped me apply things in my Scentsy business. Guys, when we come home with all these ideas, when we come home with all these new people to network with, it's easy to get so overwhelmed with the choices and so overwhelmed with the content that it's really hard to make a move, and then you make the wrong move, or you feel like that you're going to make the wrong move. And what is the most important thing? And you want to get to know everyone because you met so many new faces, maybe even connected with people through social media or however. And so, like, what are they doing today? Do they have a YouTube channel? Oh, I gotta watch all their videos all the way back from whenever they first started making videos, and I have to scroll all their Instagram. I want to see who they were 5 years ago, 7 years ago. What did they do before Scentsy? Like, oh my gosh, it can be an absolute train wreck. You will feel like that 16-year-old Laura in the grocery store and get so overwhelmed that you may either come back with nothing or you may end up missing the most valuable part. In my mind, you're going to feel more proud of yourself if you streamline all the content, streamline all the new connections, and pick the topmost thing that you want to accomplish this week. The person that you want to connect with the most within the next 30 days. What does that look like? As you're thumbing through that handbook that we filled up with notes, I'm sure, as you're looking at all the new connections that you've made on social media and all the new amazing people that you've been face to face with, and learn that you were inspired by them because maybe they were on stage, or maybe someone told you about them, or maybe you saw something or heard something, and you know that is someone that you want to connect with. Does it mean that you have to connect with them this week? I mean, that would be like me going to the grocery store and buying what I need to make a meal in 4 months. How is that okay? Like, what kind of pantry would that take? One that I don't have, let me tell you. I also don't have the mental capability or capacity to do a lot of things well. And I think that's human nature. Maybe it's a Laura problem. Maybe it's just me. I have no idea. But I'm telling you, I've learned that I can do like 2 or 3 things really well. But a list of 15? Screw it. Not happening. I am not okay. Come help me. I am not okay. And I just wonder if as we come back from these events, do we maybe file things away in our brain, or file things away in even our homes, like, content that we got, notes that we took, things that we might have even done in our phones. Do we file them away because it's so overwhelming and we don't know where to start? I mean, you need supper tonight. You need a new friend, someone in your corner, a new contact, a new podcast, a new YouTube channel. You need that now. You don't need 15 of them. So pick one, and then know that in 2 weeks or a month, you're going to be hyper-focused on another thing on your list, or another person, or another podcast, or whatever. Like, allow yourself one meal at a time. So pick that one person, pick that one idea, pick that one thing that you're like, yes, I'm on it. I'm going to do this. This was why I needed reunion. Pick that thing first. And then know that you can go back to your grocery store when you need more food. Does that make sense? Like, I know it's stupid, and it's probably the only thing that nobody else would ever come up with content like this. It's so simple, but I want you to know that it's helped me, because I remember going to my first events and I was like, gotta do all the things coming home, and I would get burned out so much. My family would be like, oh my gosh, what's happening? You're not even here. You're here, but you're not here. You were more here when you weren't here, right? And then I would feel overwhelmed because I was like, gotta do all the things. This is what I've been missing. This is why I've been failing. I have to do it all. And in thinking that, I literally was burning the candle at both ends. And I actually didn't get to master the areas that I wanted to because I was in, too many outlets, too many things on the to-do list. So I want you to think right now, what are the 3 things that you can master? The 2 or 3 things that you can do super well. The 1 or 2 people that you can get to know really, really well. And then put the rest of the people and the rest of the ideas in a pantry or in a grocery store for you to go and use later. When you're thirsty for a new idea, when you've had enough time to really be excellent at one new idea and really try hard and have razor sharp focus on that one idea, working it long enough to know if it's really going to serve you or your customers and your team, give it your undivided attention so you know if it's actually even going to work. And then if it doesn't, no worries, because you have a repertoire of amazing ideas and content that has been untapped. You're just trying one thing at a time to give it the, attention that it deserves too. So this is my little soapbox from a big Cincy sister to you message to take one thing at a time, one person at a time. The other things can wait and should wait. And you get dang good at being excellent at that 1 or 2. Let me know if this was helpful. Maybe even have an accountability partner like, hey, I'm going to do this one thing and hold me to it and don't let me skip around until I've given it my undivided attention and make me report back to you. Like, have somebody in your corner that you could have that conversation with. Okay, that's all I got. I love you guys.